morning. How you doing? Just picked up my Corvette from the shop, and I thought I would go over why you can't always trust the experts, because sometimes the experts are wrong. And when I say experts, I'm saying experts, right? But there's a lot of experts out there today. A lot of people claim to be experts, but they're not always right. And I'll give you an example. I took my beautiful red Corvette to a shop a couple weeks ago, and on the front of the Vette, it's a 2012, and they've since corrected this problem, but the 2012, this is the racing edition Grand Sport, and it's only about this far off the ground in the front of the car. And they have a little piece that goes underneath the car, and it's aerodynamic stuff. But the experts said that the only way that I could fix this problem, and the problem is because it's only this far off the ground, when you go over a speed bump, or even when I drive into my driveway, it drags. And over the last 6 years, I've come up and hit the not hit, that's not the right word, but I've come up to the parking block. You know, when you go to a restaurant or even at my office or a sidewalk or whatever, and it's hard to see how long the front end of this car is. So it's hard to judge where the parking block is. And so I've bumped into that a couple times, and over 6 years, it's pulled the rivets out of this little plastic piece. And because of that, the expert said I had to replace the front end of the car to fix it, or just chop it off. And it's going to look bad if I chop it off. And it's just going to look like a hack job, right? And I'm getting ready to sell the car because I bought a new car. And I'll share with you next week when I have it, what I bought. But so I want to get it ready for the next guy, right? Or the next girl, guy, whatever, that buys the car. I want it to be in perfect condition. So the expert said there was no possible way you could fix this. And I had an idea of how to fix it. And the rivets had actually pulled out of the fiberglass, so you couldn't put a new rivet in the same hole and fix it that way. And that's why the experts said just tear it off. And then it's going to look stupid without that grill part in the front. Well, I figured, why can't I just get some self-tapping screws, get up underneath there and shove these screws into this little piece of plastic, and that will fix the problem. Well, the problem with that is the car is only a couple inches off the ground, and I can't get underneath it with the drill to drill those self-tapping screws into the little piece of rubber. So what do? Well, I found a guy that works on Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Bentleys, a really cool guy named Gary here in Las Vegas. And so I took the car down. I said, hey, can I borrow your shop, or could you do this for me? And literally, it took me longer to drive there and get the car than it took him to fix it. They drove it up, put it on the rack, put it up in the air, put some screws in the bottom of it, dropped it back down, and I'm out of there, right? So it only took a few minutes. You could not fit under there, Chase Gonzalez. Not a chance. The car literally, it's like that far off the ground in the front. So my point to all of this is the experts aren't always correct. They're not always right just because they're the expert. I'll give you another example. The experts say that you have to wait 7 to 10 years for items to fall off your credit report, that you're stuck with your bad credit. You're stuck with your bad decisions for life, or 7 to 10 years, which could seem like a lifetime if you had to wait 7 to 10 years to move on with your life. And the experts, the Federal Trade Commission, the banks, the credit unions, the mortgage brokers, the real estate agents, all of these people make bigger commissions the lower your credit score. Because if you have a bad credit score, you're limited to what you can do. And so they want you to believe that you don't have a choice, that you have to wait 7-10 years. Just like the expert said, there's no possible way that, hold on a second. Sorry. There's no possible way that they could fix the car just to rip the front end off the car. And I'm not going to do it, right? There's got to be another way. And just like with credit repair and credit problems, there's another way. Student loans. Somebody just asked, I saw it up there. How do you deal with student loans in California? I think you said, how do I deal with federal student loans in California? And I'm assuming you live in California. That doesn't make any difference whether it's you live in California or not on a student loan. But the experts say that you have to wait 7 to 10 years to have good credit again, that it takes 7 years to have it fix itself. Well, it does. It is 7 to 10 years for it to fix itself. But why don't you take it to somebody that can fix it for you? You know, in the last 11 years, we fixed tens of thousands of people's credit, impacted their lives, let them move on with their life, giving them a second chance. And with those tens of thousands of people that we've helped, I've only had a handful. I mean, maybe 5 or 6, maybe. For sure less than 10 that have come back for repeat business. It's very, very rare because we put them in a coaching program. We teach them how to manage their money the right way, how to manage their credit the right way, and we show them the value of it. It's not just so you can get a better interest rate. There's so many things that your credit will impact. I mean, it's the most important number in your life is your credit score. The number one thing in your life, the number one number, right, in your life is your credit score. Because of how our society works. Right? So don't always believe the experts. Don't believe them when they say it takes 7 to 10 years to fix your credit or to have good credit again, because it doesn't. It could take 7 to 10 weeks, 7 to 10 days in some cases, 7 to 10 months in some cases, but not 7 to 10 years. So if you have bad credit and you want to get it fixed, check out my website, fortresscreditpro.com. Send me a direct message, whatever. Somebody says that I'm off. I went off. I'm not sure what happened. So I hope you guys have a great day today, but don't always trust the experts. Sometimes get a second opinion because the experts are not always right and sometimes they're wrong. Have a good day.